That's not parked. Hey guys, welcome to the garage from the World Wide Web. Hang around because today I'm going to introduce to you this good old boy right here. So he has seen better days, unfortunately. So the plan today is to take all this sheet metal and get it cut away however I have to, whether I melt it or cut it. Kind of show the engine and see what that is and see if I can get it running. We'll at least get it started and get fired up. Alright, so we'll go ahead and lift up the hood here and I'll show you why I bought this truck in the first place. So what we have here is a good old Gen 4 Chevy big block. So this one is a 427 variety. So that is a true badge on the top, although these are just emblems put on a chrome air cleaner. I am not sure if it is a truck block, one of the ones that came in the big industrial trucks, or if it is an actual passenger car 427. So TBD on that. We'll have to check some block numbers against, you know, some other things, but there are just so many goodies on this engine, which is why I bought this truck. So it's got MSD atomic fuel injection, you know, just decent parts all over. It's got the MSD ignition control. I'm not even sure what the 6T is. I'll have to check that out. 6 truck? I don't honestly know. I've not seen that before. So got that to check out. Look at that big giant Holly coil on the back. I'm not sure what we have for a distributor. Looks like it might be a little China boy. Not sure. So you can see this is where this sucker got hit pretty hard. So I mean, that tire, let's get it better. That tire right there, if you guys are familiar with these trucks, is supposed to be, you know, that way, about 4 inches. So when I get the wheels and tires off of this thing, you can really tell how much farther it got pushed over. So there's definitely some frame damage up in there. I don't even know if you'll be able to see it, but steering's all broken because it shifted the front end so far over. But I think that's enough gum flapping, enough talking. Let's see what it's going to take to get this thing, get the shroud pulled back so you can see. I mean, the engine, the transmission, the engine and the radiator are touching. It actually broke the power steering pulley right there. So I think it'll run. Battery's still good. Everything in there should still be good. We just got to get the core support pulled back and this stuff kind of out of the way, and we'll see if it'll fire up. So before we fire it up, let's just take a look at the inside of this thing too. It is not bad. Obviously, used to be a different color. I'm not sure why, other than maybe this bed was a different color. Interesting. That looks like that might have been a filler hole right there, but hard to say. They didn't usually put those fillers in there except for like the super longhorn ones, I think. I don't know, maybe they had an auxiliary. But look at how clean this is. I mean, the dash pad, not too bad. I've seen worse. Look at that, not even cut. Not even cut. And it is an AC cab too. Look at that. Man, I had forgot. And this is a pretty stock interior. I think from the factory. I mean, he bought this thing restored. The guy I bought it from bought it restored, bought it so he could fix it, and got the front end wiped off of it. So look at this thing. Let's see. Just sit in here. My first truck was a 1971 Chevy pickup, and this brings back a lot of memories. Look at that. Tilt column even. Holy cat, well, that steering wheel's seen better days. I do know that the guy, you can't probably see it, but it's a little bent. A little bit. I do know the guy broke his wrist when he hit that thing, so that, look at that. Look at the kind of shape this thing is in. That is amazing. I mean, not tons of, you put sheet metal screw or grabbers through the floor. That's maybe not the best thing, but even the emergency brake works. Like, it's stopping and holding the truck right now because the shifter's all kinds of jacked up. But anyways, not a ton to tour. It was funny though, my 15-year-old boy got in here and couldn't figure out how to get out. Dad, where's the handle? He says. And then he found it and thought that was the coolest thing ever. And now he wants that door handle on everything he owns. So anyway, it's original. I don't know if it's original headliner and everything, but a little saggy, maybe can be put back together. So I'm not exactly sure the direction that I'm going to take, because I know these trucks are bringing big money right now when they're restored. And realistically, so the cowl is messed up, this fender, the hood, core support, obviously, inner fender, but so in the front, like the mounting area might be a little messed up, but other than some rust down here on the corner that I already pulled out, that fender didn't really get hurt too bad. And the door, even the door still opens pretty good and didn't get into the trim. So kind of cool that it didn't mess it up as bad as I would have thought. So stuff is tweaked for sure, but it really didn't. I mean, it's touching. It's, you know, it's touching back here, but not bad. I mean, and all this stuff, it looks like is rust that needs to be just fixed anyway. So a solid cab, AC truck, although AC looks like it's long gone, but that's okay. All right, enough of me yakking. I think everybody knows what these trucks are nowadays, so we'll get to it. So here we go. Let's cut the front end off. All right, here we are. It's another day. It's not the next day, but it's another day. So still working on this old boy here. I did pull the fan out just to get a little more clearance in there, because you know, I was thinking to myself, Matt, why are we gonna cut this whole thing off? All we're doing is trying to start the motor. So save myself a bit of work and some frustration and some money in Sawzall blades. So I'm gonna yank the radiator out, double check underneath, make sure it's in park. Got to hook back up power and a ground to the box, and then crank her over with the key and see what happens. All right, so I got to looking under here, and rather than reinvent the wheel and run wire all across the engine bay and blah, blah, blah. So I found this one, which is actually the one it was hooked to before, but it was pinched down there in the wreckage. So I cut it before, just gonna clean that up a little bit. 2 new terminals on there, throw a battery in it. Still got to make sure it's in park. And then we'll crank it up. Oh yeah, and one other thing. If you're not using these to do your electrical, I'm going to just go ahead and say you're doing something wrong with your life. Having those, even just to hold that while you put the wire in, makes things so much easier, and then it's a mechanical thing. So your arms don't get tired when you're doing those big jobs. But anyway, little plug for these guys here. All right, grab my wrench to throw it in park. Oh, it broke off on this before, so this shouldn't be too hard. You just gotta, there we go, that's park. So if you ever have to do that, it's to the left, counterclockwise, as it were. Okay, so that's in park. We'll just crank this bit on here right now. Good enough. I'm gonna yank this radiator out real quick. Maybe. Don't want to cam so much. What are we caught on over here? Aha! There we go. Get the wiring out of the way. Yeah. All right, now we got room for all the activities. Plenty of space. See it? Bent that water pump. Water pump. Bent the, I was thinking water pump because of that. Bent the power steering pump terribly. But I think that's the worst of it. Everything else still looks pretty good. There. It stopped. That's where I wanted to sit. Let's see. I do have a couple more grounds that I got to fix up on there, so I'm going to do that and then we'll be back. Okay. Wiring's cobbled together. I think I've got everything connected that needs to be connected. Battery in place. So none of the wires are cut over there, so I'm not really worried about that. Don't know how much gas is in it or if it will run on the gas that's in it. So let's just see what happens here. Oh, wipers are on. Cranking, that's good news. I do not know if there's a secret thing or not for the fuel injection. Might not be any fuel pressure, who knows? Oh, there we go. was weird. Tack works. See that? Well, she runs. Something's stuck. I don't know why that. Oh, that's probably why. Oh yeah, because the motor's moved all the way over. Okay. That ought to be better. Let's try that. Dang! Not bad. Oil pressure? She sounds pretty good. Can't run it too long because it doesn't have a water pump on it, but not bad. Got a tick. Obviously there's some header issues, but that's not parked. Well, save the creeper anyway. Don't mind my expletives. That did fall off of 2 jack stands. Whoops. Backyard mechanicking, everybody. Take your life in your own hands, I guess. All right, let's get it put back up. Okay, well, that was unexpected. It's the first car that's tried to kill me. It was weird that it didn't do that surge thing when it was revving up real quick to 2,500 RPM. The pump must have been dry or something, that it didn't lunge forward before. So it was just waiting for me to stand in front of it until it tried to come get me. Maybe it was mad that I cut it. I don't know. I didn't do this. It wasn't my fault. I bought it this way. Anyway, successful first start. Truck runs. Apparently it drives. Probably won't go for a drive. I mean, you can, I think I showed this before. It is very cracked down there, like right here. But anyway, so successful test fire, got the truck back up. I think this jack stand did save my creeper's life because that made it out unscathed. I think that's where I'm gonna kick off on this video. Let me know what you think I should do. I mean, it did try to hurt me. I don't know if I want to keep it. Bad omen. I don't know. If I do keep it, I want to put it on a 4-wheel drive frame and do kind of a lifted version, but because I need a whole new frame and everything anyway. But I do have some other stuff in the works. I've got this truck right here that I've got a bunch of stuff planned for, and K2500 Suburban. That's the CK version, so it's a 1995 with the big block and all kinds of fun stuff in it. Got some stuff planned for that. So if you're Chevy guys, you're truck guys, subscribe to the channel, share with your buddies. We got some more good stuff coming. Thanks for hanging out, guys. See you later.